Hello, everybody. My name's Larry. Thought I'd tell y'all a little story tonight about where I grew up and how things were. I grew up in Central Arkansas, and I was raised on a farm. My dad had 70 acres, and I would say within about a mile and a half stretch, there was my parents' house, and you could go a little ways down the road and there was my grandparents' house, and I go a little further down the road and there was my aunt and uncle's house. So I think I had a good upbringing overall. I would wake up in the morning a lot of times and eat breakfast at home, maybe sausage, biscuits and gravy with bacon, and play a little bit, and then off to grandma's house I went. And I distinctly remember on her counter, a lot of times I guess she knew I'd be coming, and or my other cousins sometimes would show up, and in a little plate there would usually be a couple, 2 or 3 biscuits, maybe some bacon, maybe some sausage, and I'd eat again, and we'd play, sometimes with my cousins, and then I go on down the road to my aunt's house where my cousins lived, and she was a great cook. her her most famous dish that I've ever eaten, I suppose, is her chocolate pie. Somehow she makes the chocolate in a pie. It tastes like no other, and then she makes her own like whipped cream, and it's just out of sight. That's probably why I'm a heavy set boy all my whole life. But that little stretch of land there, hitting all 3 houses, I rode a little bicycle up and down the road, and it was pretty good. I know if I ever got sick or anything and had to stay home from school, my parents would take me over to my grandparents' house, and man, they would love on me and take care of me. And I remember in the winter they had a wood burning fireplace. I would sit by that, and she would rub some Vicks salve on me, on my throat and neck, and under my nose, and even made me, believe it or not, take a little bite of it. It's not the most pleasant tasting thing, a little bite of Vicks salve, but she believed heavily in Vicks salve and a product called Campho-Phenique. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that. You old timers probably have, but Campho-Phenique was good for scratches and bumps and bruises, and she would rub that on me as needed. But my grandparents were great. Both sets of grandparents. I was just fortunate to live by one, and I didn't live by the other set, but we did visit them somewhat often. But on this farm that I was raised on, we didn't have a lot of money, and as a kid, I really didn't care. I didn't even know. I thought everybody was pretty poor. And certainly nobody was super rich where we lived. But we had chickens. Those chickens laid our eggs, and we ate the eggs. And we had hogs, and we'd always have a mama sow. She'd have some babies, and we'd always raise 1 or 2 to kill and put in the freezer. We also raised our own beef. We'd kill a calf every now and then, and that's how we ate our beef. Like I said, Dad had about 70 acres, and he had probably the most cows he ever had was, I'm going to say, 35 head of cows. That's plenty to take care of, especially in the wintertime. And as he got older, he finally sold them because it is a job to, bust the water on the ice when the cows can get a drink, put some round bales of hay out, things like that. But it was a good life. I remember sometimes Dad would announce in the middle of the week, "Hey, don't anybody go anywhere on Saturday because we're we're going to get these cows up, and we're going to vaccinate them, and we're going to do some dehorning. And so one of the things I remember especially is it'd be me and my two brothers, my mom and my dad, and if we was lucky, somebody else might help us. But those cows were smart, and they knew we wanted to get them up. But they'd seen us do this before, and they would we'd go to the back of that land, and we'd herd them up. And it never failed. When they got up near the barn, near the corral, before we could get them in there, they would turn on you and try. It's almost run over you like a stampede. You got the heck out of the way. And they'd go to the back of that land, and here we'd go again. And my dad had a big old hickory stick. He warped a few of them a few times to try to get them to do what he wanted. But usually I don't ever remember doing it more than 3 times. A lot of times we'd get them up the first time. Sometimes it took twice. But we'd finally get them up, and like I say, we'd catch their heads in a chute. And like I say, when you vaccinated them, dehorned them, whatever, you'd let them go, and the next cow or calf or bull or whatever would run into that chute, and we'd catch their head and do what we had to do. But you know, that's the kind of things we did. You don't see that too much anymore. There's still some farms out there, but not near as many as there was back in the day. Some of the stuff I done, you know, because I did work on the farm and knew a little bit about it. Other farmers, I know we had one friend, he was a chicken farmer, and sometimes he would change out his laying hens, and he'd hire me and my brothers, and we'd go over and we'd catch those chickens late at night, man. I've never been so tired to catch chickens sometimes, but we would catch the chickens and put them on a trailer, and they would haul them out. And then other trailers would bring in the younger, fresher hens, I suppose, and the new laying hens. And we would grab those by the legs and put them in the chicken house in their pens, and they would start laying. So, you know, we all eat, and sometimes we eat. We don't have a clue where things come from, but they come from that farm, and you know, thank goodness for farmers. I love me some farmers. Now, because of me doing all that, I don't want to be a farmer, but I sure do like me some farmers, and I do like to eat. And so that's kind of how I grew up. I could expand on that a lot. I don't want to take too much time, but you know, we mowed the lawns. We mowed our lawn. I mowed neighbors' lawns. I remember I furnished a lawnmower, a push lawnmower. Daddy furnished the gas. And I mowed that yard across the road for $5. And I don't think Dad thought I was going to make any money, but he was just teaching me some work ethic. And I say Mom and Dad did a pretty good job, because neither my brothers nor I, we're not in jail. We didn't kill anybody. We didn't commit too many crimes. We just pretty good old country boys. We work and love our family, and so you know, Dad always said, "I'm gonna teach you how to work, because if I teach you how to work, you can make a living." And so we might have thought it was hard at times, but it was really a good upbringing, and I'm proud for what my parents made me do and taught me to do. So I'll see you guys another day. I'm gonna cut it off here, and I hope y'all like and share and subscribe to the video if you like it. I'm getting on this YouTube thing new. I don't know if I'll ever make any money or not, but we're going to give it a whirl, tell a few stories, and so y'all have a good night, and I'll see you next time, okay?